For those of you who do not know, I have a weight loss transformation video I made a few years back. And after that initial weight loss, I have been able to keep the majority of the weight off. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you how I've done this. One of the things I did was I made exercising a habit. Some people say it takes 28 days to make something a habit, but I've read it takes around 66 days for something to become a habit. And when it becomes a habit, it becomes something you can do automatically without thinking about it. And it becomes a hard thing to an easy thing. In fact, now whenever I miss days of the gym, I kind of get a little bit irritated and really crave going to the gym. So once you make it a habit and do it day after day after day for a certain amount of consecutive days, then it becomes easier over time. I made exercising a habit. Mainly weight training is what I do at the gym. I do cardio during my lean bulking phase, or when I'm just not really cutting or doing really much. I do cardio a few times a week just for the health benefits, at least 10 to 15 minutes a session. But weight training is my main thing. So majority of the time at the gym, I spend training with weights. So between 5 to 6 days a week, I train 45 to, I could actually do it for an hour and a half, but I try to limit myself to 45 minutes to an hour on weight training. Another thing that changed for me as far as lifestyle is I stopped mindless eating for the majority of the time. Mindless eating is when you're bored and you're not really hungry, but you just grab something, either chips or something, and just keep eating and eating and eating without realizing how much you ate. And pretty soon the whole large bag of chips is almost gone or half gone, and you just ate a lot of excess calories that you didn't need. Another tip I would give to people is try to be aware and present when you're eating. Try not to be on your phone, watch movies, Netflix, at least in the beginning, and enjoy your food. Chew your food slow, and some people say at least drink a glass of water before your meal. This makes it easier to be satiated during the meal. I love to chew my food slowly. I like to eat slowly now. I made it a habit, and Alright, so this is hard for a lot of people to do who love to eat, but try to stop eating when you're full. Our stomachs have signals that tell us when we're full, and that's when we should usually stop. But depending on the food, it's hard to do that, but try to have self-control the majority of the time. Another thing I stopped doing was drinking my calories. So in high school, I used to drink a lot of Mountain Dew, full sugared sodas, and I gained a lot of weight from doing that. So just cutting out a few sodas every week can save you hundreds of calories. Instead, you can drink the diet options, and if you don't like the artificial sweeteners and all that, I like to drink LaCroix. It's like a soda water, and it's naturally infused with flavors. If you don't like LaCroix, you can have just plain old club soda with some lime juice in there. But yeah, I like to do other options instead of drinking real soda. Also, if you like to drink frappuccinos, caramel lattes, any kind of drink with the full milk and everything in there, that can cost you a lot of calories. Some frappuccinos range from a few hundred calories to upwards to 700 calories. So just by making that switch to either drinking mostly a plain coffee or an Americano, which is just water and the coffee itself, you save a lot of calories doing that. And then if you need some creamer, just put a little bit, but don't try to have the majority of the coffee be full of milk or creamer, because that can take up a lot of your calories. I also go for the sugar-free options. A lot of Starbucks have like Splenda, Equal, stuff like that, and they also have sugar-free syrups that you can request, and that saves you tons of calories there. So I used to not really have hobbies. I would just work and eat, but when you're really sedentary and you're eating all the time, those calories can end up turning into fat. So to avoid that, I would instead, if you're bored and you're eating, you need to get a hobby. So if you don't have a hobby already, you can, start playing the guitar, learning how to draw, do art class, do something that will take your time up when you're not working and when you're bored, to fill your time. When you're fully involved in something you love, it totally just wipes the time away and you don't even think about food. So do something you're really passionate about and focus on that, and that will draw your attention away from food. So this is a real simple one. We hear it on The Biggest Loser and stuff like that, but try not to keep junk food in the house. Instead, have like pre-cut fruits and veggies that if you're actually hungry and you need a snack, you can grab some cantaloupe, watermelon, apple instead of some chips. Because volume-wise, like, one apple is 80 calories, whereas the same volume of food, once you munch it down for chips, will add up to at least a few hundred calories. So try to watch what you keep in your house, because knowing myself, if I have some Lay's chips, Cheetos in my pantry, it's easily accessible and I'll probably eat it. But if it's not in the house and I have to actually go to the grocery store, get in my car to go get it, I won't do it. So try to keep junk foods out of the house, and if you have kids and stuff like that who like those snacks, try to keep them hidden from you, put them away in your pantry, close the door, and out of sight, out of mind. A lot of times if I put chips in there, I'll forget about it because I rarely open my pantry except to get like canned foods and stuff like that. So just put it away where you can't see it and it's not easily accessible. Another thing that helps to keep the majority of the weight off is Monday through Friday, or whatever your work week is, try to do some intermittent fasting. That saved me a lot of calories. Now, if you think about it, if you have at least, 300 to 400 to 500 calories for breakfast, well, times that by 5 days a week. It will be at least 2,500 calories extra that you're having per week. And, if that is putting you in a surplus, then you could just do the math of how much fat you gain throughout the months. So I like to cut out breakfast and instead have a lunch and a dinner during the weekdays. And during the weekends, I'm more flexible with my approach. If friends and family are going to go out for breakfast, I will eat with them. I won't sit there with like a cup of coffee saying I have to fast, but I'll just try to make smarter choices. To end this video, I want to say that when you're coming close to your goal during a cutting stage, the hardest part can be to basically go back to a maintenance phase. And for that, I would slowly reverse diet. And I'll dive into this a little bit more later, but trying to get out of that whole mentality, because when you're in a serious deficit and you've been cutting for so long, your mindset kind of gets played with, whereas you see food differently. So sometimes doing extreme cuts is not good. I actually haven't done one to the point where I have striations everywhere and I'm ready to do like a show. But yeah, when I've gone really to my goal, very close to my goal, and been in a deficit for so long, doing cardio all the time, it can mess with your mindset. So I would say to try to cut slowly and try to minimize cardio, do stuff like that, because a lot of people end up with eating disorders because they have like body dysmorphia and all this stuff, and because they're always playing mind games with themselves about food and punishing themselves as they go over and under. It's a process in itself to keep your mind healthy. So when getting off of a cut, it's smarter to slowly add on calories week per week, so you don't just gain all the weight back and lose all your progress. When you're dieting, I highly suggest you add some rewards in there, do some refeed days where you bump your calories up to maintenance, just to keep your mind healthy and also for your body to give it a break, so that when you do come off that cut, you're not so hungry that you're gonna binge. So for a lot of people, when they come off of a cut and come off from going for this goal, sometimes it's hard to go back to normal life of just maintaining your current physique. But yeah, just make things a habit. Try when you're in your maintenance phase to be more flexible throughout the week. You know, have meals you enjoy, and also try to adjust some meals to be macro friendly, lower calorie, but like the same thing. So I like to make like omelets, for example, but when I'm trying to watch my calories, I'll put more egg whites instead of using so much yolk. Just making small changes to the way you cook your food and how you select your food, and how you know, have high calorie days and low calorie days. Just the balance of the calories will equal out. You don't always have to hit exact calories every week. At the end of the day, it's about your average calorie consumption throughout the week. So some people go low and count all their macros Monday through Friday and then go high on the weekends, and some people just like to keep it all steady throughout the week. But I highly suggest trying to make fitness a lifestyle rather than just being an extremist, going ham and then losing all your progress because you couldn't make it fit to your everyday life. So I hope that this video resonated with you in some way and helped you in some way. And I just really wanted to make this video because I showed how I lost the weight in that transformation video and everything I've done for that, but I didn't share with you all life after the weight loss, which I think is one of the most important things when it comes down to making fitness a lifestyle and not just a phase.